Hello, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Yet another beautiful day with Nairobi Design Week Festival. Today we have Under Our Skin Film Festival. Will tell us more about the film festival coming up and how you can apply. The deadline is on the 25th of April, I think. So join in filmmakers and all the creatives, all about human rights. And we're looking forward to learning so much from the panel. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So that's, yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're welcome to take over, Matt.
Guys, so I'll just begin by giving you like a small brief introduction to what Under Our Skin is. Yeah, so Under Our Skin is a human rights film festival, and the idea is this is like a space, you'd call it a space or an opportunity that brings people together. And as it says, Under Our Skin, we're looking at, regardless of being different people, we're all the same people, we face the same problems, the same challenges. And so we're putting this into a film festival where we'll bring people, anyone can participate, filmmakers, people, human rights activists, and anyone who is doing like great work in this space. So we are a team of like 10 people with different expertise. So and we're all bringing something unique to this project that we're trying to put together. And what I can say is that we have a couple of themes that we are working on, and I'll just mention them in briefly. There's expression as a right, and we're looking at, you know, as people in the communities that the people or groups that are suppressed and not able to sort of like express themselves. For example, if you look at LGBT spaces, we look at informal settlements, where we're going to have one of our team members talk about the real life experience on the ground. Even looking at women, we know gender is a big factor when it comes to human rights, scale of economies, where we see some groups tend to be underrepresented compared to others. So all these different dimensions come in together to fit into that theme. And then we also have a theme that we're calling social contract redefined. And here we are looking at things like what's happening. We've seen informal settlements, police brutality is a big thing that's happening or has been happening. Also in relation to COVID as well. We've seen with COVID happening, a lot of, you know, injustice has been sort of like, you know, blowed up, and we're seeing the effects and all that. There's a lot of tension between economies and power struggle. So that's a theme we're also going to explore. Then our third theme is injustice by design. And here we're looking at things like climate change. How do you relate climate change, you know, with human rights? We're experiencing weather fluctuations right now. We're seeing, you know, climate refugees as well and things like that. So all those things that we're looking at and seeing, you know, how do people know that, you know, we have a right to good weather and things like that. Something else that I can mention about this film festival. So it's a big factor of it is education. So we really want to educate people so people are aware of, you know, what are human rights? What do we mean? What kind of people need to know about their human rights and all that? And so we're using film as a tool for education. So we're going to have filmmakers who are sort of like just going to come in and sort of like share the films they've created or stories they've wanted to tell. And we want to give a platform to new filmmakers or existent filmmakers. And that's within East Africa, Kenya, of course, East Africa, as well as other international films. So, you know, just bringing, as we said, it's all about diversity. So we just want to bring all those elements together, and then we hope we can get to share this with people. So we're looking to have these film festivals in communities. Hopefully we can have actual sessions depending on how things happen. And we're also looking to showcase them within communities, within informal settlements, within Nairobi, and also in partnership with other people. So we have a couple of partners, Nairobi Design Week as well, being one of our good friends as well. So we are working to see how we can partner with communities, human rights activists, societies, civil societies, small organizations, community organizations, and all that. Basically, anyone who shares the same vision or the same passion and has the same objectives with us in mind. We're looking to sort of like just, work together and create the right space for education and impact eventually. So yeah, Matthew, Ed, feel free to add in anything you feel that would be relevant if I did not mention. Yes, but I must say there's a great team working behind this to put this together. It's not a one-person effort. We have filmmakers, we have storytellers, we have journalists, we have human rights activists. For example, like Brian, who's also part of this presentation today. And yeah, we are all just working day by day to see how this will be a good opportunity and to learn, and also just to see eventually learning as we go. What are we going to be able to one day solve, or at least be able to create the right sensitization, because we are also looking for people creating these solutions from the community. Yeah, so our biggest job is to educate and to inspire and just see what exactly is going to grow from that. Yes. Yes, so I think pretty much that's a summary from my end. I'll pass this over to Stoneface, who can share a bit of some examples from his real life experience and his work.
Okay, thanks, Sarah, for the reflections. And to my end, Stoneface is a community organizer, is an activist, human rights defender. And what Film Festival is all about is reflecting on our informal settlement where we live right now. We find that we have a lot of challenges. We face like state violation, like EJ kind of extrajudicial execution up in our community. We have ecological injustices that we face in our community, gender-based violence. We have all kind of state violation towards the people living in informal settlement. And how do we come up to tell the community this thing that we're facing is not possible, is not right for the people living in informal settlement. We're using a soft power as human rights defenders. One, we have art for social justice. We talk on issue affecting our side through music, through film activity, through community dialogues. We have Madare social justice, community theaters. We have a space where we collect a young group of people like Madare Kids Club. We try to educate them as early as now of what we learned late. We transfer to them so that they can learn early to understand that the issue being given at school is totally different from what we face as out here as a reality. First of all, like we want even them to understand the history of Madare. Yeah, as you can see, maybe if you can just come to Madare one of the fine days, you find a road known as Mau Mau Road. People doesn't have a clue of what is all about Mau Mau Road, but deep down it has a very big history. And we want to tell the people of informal settlement that if we understand our history, definitely we know where we'll be heading to. This violation that we're facing from Madare is a state organized. We're living in a kind of insult environment, like kind of I've just mentioned earlier, ecological injustices. In Madare, we don't have kind of a good environment. We face like, we don't have good sanitation. We don't have trees. Actually, 2018, we did a census with Madare Green Movement, and we came across to understand like, can you imagine one tree giving life to 1,200 people? That's really abnormal, yeah. And you can see we are being surrounded by Mudaiga. We're being surrounded with this big estate, but the people living in informal settlement in Madare, they're really facing a lot of challenges like that of ecological injustice. We have water rationing. Even during this time of COVID-19, we've really faced a lot of challenges accessing this water. We're being said like, you have to wash your hands, you have to sanitize, you have to stay inside the door, inside the house. But in our area, in the houses, like we live, it doesn't allow you to have the social distancing. The water we have is not that efficient. Like you cannot even get this water. So we wanted to tell the community, and rather than and to tell the whole world of what is happening in our formal settlement. That's why we're so much empowered by the film festival. This is a soft tool, soft power we are using to educate the masses of this is actually intimidation we're facing from the state, and we have to come up by our own means. Like we have to organize for ourselves. So like using the three things, maybe organize. We organize a lot, organizing and do a lot of organizing, educating a lot of people. This and this, you have to do this and this to overcome this. And definitely they will liberate themselves. Like I'm so happy nowadays in a formal settlement, we did a lot of sensitization of human rights activity. And right now is so much ironical because when the shoots happen in our community, like some weeks ago, a young man was killed by a police officers. But you find like the community decided to go to the demo, which it was so powerful to our end. No human rights defender was there, no any community organizer was there, but the community by themselves, they decided to go on the street to demand for justice. It was so much kind of a big achievement on our side because of the kind of activity we've actually been doing, or kind of sensitizing of human rights activity. And for the film festival to be part of this struggle, it will be really powerful to go to an extent, like a lot of people will come from board, try to understand this and this and this. So we're much happy for this activity, and we need more on this. So whenever we are being together, nothing can divide us. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Stoneface.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'll pass this to you, and you could introduce the filmmaker transition.
Okay, so we're really happy to have with us today Robin, who has made a film called Bangarang, which he's going to talk to us about, which addresses some of the issues that we want to address in the festival. So we're going to have a chat about filmmaking, and how films can deal with and explore human rights issues and maybe even provoke change. But I think, first of all, we're going to just have a look at the trailer to Bangarang, and then we'll speak to Robin, the director.
Nimekuwa na miscarriages 4. Huu wa 5 ndio Mungu ametuachia.
Mtaka Joy anyonye mpaka afike form 1.
I want to condemn the brutal killing of all people.
Mimi sina shida na nani amekuwa rais. Shida yangu kubwa ni watu innocent watazidi kufa mpaka lini.
Wasi unakimbizana nao kwa street, si watu wa klasi yako.
I have a degree in automotive engineering. Kizungu, if you have a diploma, you are considered a school dropout.
Stop living in denial. Politics affects your life.
Mkiona maduka zao, mbomo, na mchome.
Jakoma na wadanganya, na nasikia vizuri Nairobi. Mbona watoto wako wanaendagi maandamano?
Hebu sasa niambie, vile kijana yetu ndo president, vile imekusaidia wewe kama Njoro.
Wewe hujasikia kwa Army Barracks kwa medani?
Wakirusha, tunarusha.
The boss says the shoot to kill order continues.
Hii si vita Daudi na Goliathi, inashindaniwa na mawe. Hii ni vita ya serikali.
Jua kuna watu wenye na polisi.
Si kila mtu ameuliwa na polisi uletwa hapa. Wengine utupu. Kwa sababu kijana ameingia kwa amekuwa kuvia.
I swear to God I did not kill that child.
The OCS is requesting anyone who can help trace one.
No due respect, sir. Feel me. Since when did a 6-month-old child go to the streets to riot?
After considering the evidence tendered before this honorable court by both the prosecution and the defense, the court finds
sisi wananchi tunakwanga wajinga. Uwana hapa chini nao wanakutana na kukula hapo juu.
Great. Well, that looks really amazing, and it looks very powerful and totally in line with the kinds of films we're going to be showing at the festival. So, well, Robbie, is it Robbie or Robin? Which do you prefer? Hi, can you hear me?
Robbie,
Hi.
I prefer Robbie.
Robin, hi.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining
Robbie.
us. Robbie, okay, thank you. Thanks for joining us. And one of the reasons why we really wanted you to attend this event was because I think one of the things that Under Our Skin is going to try and do is inspire a new generation of filmmakers to make new material and new films that will explore some of these issues that affects their lives. So I think I'd just like to start off by asking you, what inspired you as a filmmaker? Was it other filmmakers? Was it other artists? Who inspired you to pick up a camera and actually start making films?
Okay, thank you everyone. I'm happy to be here. I'm Odongo Robbie. I'm filmmaker from Kisumu. Basically, I've been doing films in our language. I have some few award-winning films from here, like the one I did last year was the best in vernacular language. So I started, what inspired me most to do, I'm a writer and a director. I used to act, but I stopped. What inspired me most to do our films is, I realized we have so many of our original stories that can only be told in our own way, in our authentic language. Nobody can tell our stories more than us. Now, why I did Bangarang specifically, this one was inspired by true events. 95% of the stories in that movie are things that happened in Kisumu. I live in Kisumu. All of the 3 post-election violences found me here in Kisumu. I was even a victim in 2013. I was involved in an almost fatal accident during the chaos that I was in hospital for over 6 months. Some of my friends died on their house, some were killed. So there are stories that I'm not imagining of. There are stories that some I witnessed, some my friends witnessed. I know people. I can take you to people who are victims of this, and they've been touching me because I know there are stories that cannot be told, that are never told through mainstream media. So it is our medium as a filmmaker that we can tell these stories. Mostly I was gaining Gema, the writer of Sarafina. I've watched Sarafina. I've watched it. That's a film that I've watched like over 10 times. And me and you know that Sarafina ignited so many discussions in South Africa that brought so many change. So I was like, if they could use film in South Africa to start this conversation, why not in Kenya? Yet these things are happening all over. So those are my inspirations for doing film and for doing Bangarang. Back to you.
Thanks for that. And yeah, I mean, I think all of us under our skin believe that films can have, they can raise awareness, but they can actually provoke social change as well. So I wonder if you could maybe go into that a little bit more about how you think film can perhaps do something in a way that may perhaps a political pathway, or whether that be following party politics or demonstrations. Do you think there's a link between those, or do you think that film or entertainment can can actually explain and people to perhaps empathize with these issues more than political action?
I think film is the best medium to reach people, to address these issues, because film is an edutaining medium that people will come, they will start a conversation, they will realize, oh, the first response I got from when I shared the trailer online, like if you go to the page of Kenya Film Commission where the trailer was first shared, there are a lot of comments down there that people are saying, oh, so these stories can be told. Oh, we have to tell this. Somebody has to. We have been waiting for someone to tell this. So, film is a very good medium because it can reach both the poor and the poor and the rich. Now, not like news that if you don't, things that are aired on news are censored. But a film will even reach that person on the ground. Or some people will watch it even in a barber shop. Then they will start talking about, and from there a discussion pile up. That's the issues. Back to you, Matthew.
Sorry, but I think we were breaking up a bit there. Did everybody else hear
Matthew, can you hear me? Back to you.
Robbie was doing? Did everyone hear what Robbie was saying there?
No, we had a bit of interruption. Could you maybe, Robbie, just summarize?
Yeah, so sorry, Robbie. Could you just summarize what you just said for the past 2 minutes or so?
No, we've lost him. You can keep going and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, he dropped off. But I guess Stoneface, maybe you could, take good use of this time and maybe share some highlights as well. Because I mean, film is good, but I believe you're the one who is able to tell the real stories and what's happening in the communities in relation to the kind of stories we're trying to tell. So I think that would be a good diversion.
Maybe Stoneface, if you could explain why film is important and sharing these stories is important to you and your community.
He's on mute.
Well, I think you're on mute, Stoneface.
Hello guys, okay, fine. First of all, we understand like seeing is believing, yeah? And using this film activity, it will really add a very big impact to our community as they will connect of what actually is happening to other informal settlements and also to connect with what's happening in our area, like in Mandare. Like the issue of what I just saw to the short film we just shared during the past election violence. The same happens back to our area during the 2013 and 2007 past election violence. Actually, we have a victim. Till today, we usually go there to document the cases. We usually go to the places to document of what had happened in 2007. Some, they're willing to share out the experience they face to police brutality. Some are really fearing of to talk of what was happening. We find out that most of the people were really violated. Like even the police officers were they engage in rape. Yeah, they raped the victim and intimidated them, beat them up. There was a lot of violation happened. So if we come up with this kind of story. From what we just saw from the short film to exactly, and they will reflect on what had happened to them. So it really is a tool, a soft power tool to educate more, to educate on them and to emphasize on them. They will really reflect. Yeah? even on our side during the Sabasaba match for live. The same happens back to the 2007 election. It happened actually this last year during the Sabasaba of what was happening. That we were tear gassed, a lot of people were tear gassed, and hey guys, yeah, a lot of people were tear gassed on our end. Some were called like those people. Those guys are being used by the organization, big organization, to come and destroy peace in our area. You know, the state usually even use the propagandas to intimidate the work we're doing as human rights defenders. And so far, when we let the community see this kind of a films, they'll really relate of actually what is happening, and they will really they will be much inspired. Yeah.
Great. There seems to be a few communication problems. That's why I'm just keeping the video off. I think what we can do is maybe just go through then how people can actually submit their films to the festival. So we've seen a really good example from Robbie of the kind of film that we are looking for. Obviously, Bangarang is a feature movie. We're also looking for short films. We're also looking for a variety of different formats. So it might be something social realist like that. It might be animation. It might be more expressionistic. It might be more music based or performance based. We're looking for a whole range of different material to show. If we could just scroll down to the submission details, please. Yeah. Or maybe, sorry, click to the open call details, please. I think it's just at the top. Sorry, where it says open call on the right. So basically, we have an open call at the moment.
Matthew, we've lost you. Sarah, would you be able to talk us through if we're losing Matthew?
Okay.
That with us, guys. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think I'll just continue. Yeah, but pretty much. So the submission portal is on the website, and we're picking entries up until the 25th of. It should be 25th of April. But there is a possibility of an extension date as well. So we've gotten a couple of film entries so far, and we're still in the process of sort of like just reviewing to see what has come in so far. So yeah, we encourage you to submit. We are more interested in getting to see films from new filmmakers, people who are trying to tell their stories out there. So we really hope we can get a lot of entries from the communities and even just see interesting stories. So far, so good. What we have is interesting. We have started reviewing a couple of them, and we hope we can actually get to have more of them as well. Yeah, so we're encouraging you to submit if you're a filmmaker. If not, share with your networks, share with your friends, your social circle. Yeah, or as well, try to anyone can explore film. It's an interesting space as well, a powerful tool to tell stories, just as we've had from Odongo, a filmmaker, as we've had from Brian as well. So we're curious to get to receive a lot of films. Oh, Matthew, are you back? I see you on the.
Oop.
You are.
Yeah, sorry, I was cut off there. So if you go to the submission form, it has lots of kind of technical details about the formats as well. So exactly what size video to send to us, different places where you can submit that either by Vimeo, putting it directly onto Vimeo, or sending us MP4, or via the Film Freeway. So there's lots of different ways you can submit it, but then there's like, basics on there to fill in, such as the language, the running time, just those kind of details. But it's all there on the website. And basically, yeah, we look forward to seeing your submissions. Like Sarah said, the deadline at the moment is the 25th of April, but we can extend that, and I think we're willing to extend that for a week or so afterwards before we shortlist and finalize program. Yeah, so we look forward to seeing your submissions and hearing from you.
So I think I see a question on the chat board from Bidan. Hi, Bidan. Bidan's my colleague from Think Place, who's in Senegal. So I'll respond to your question. Yes, so for anyone who's not able to live stream, we haven't thought of a sort of like a streaming platform or anything, but now that COVID has happened, that's definitely something that we are also thinking of. So we'll definitely think of a way of how we can get this to anyone who might be watching from home, or to an international audience as well. Maybe Matthew, you could respond to that as well.
Yeah, I think we have planned this event to be as live as possible, and a few months ago and before Christmas, that seemed to be a more distinct possibility. Since the latest restrictions, obviously, we're going to have to play it by ear and improvise around the situation as it occurs, and how feasible it is to have screenings in a live environment. And obviously one of our main goals is take the festival out into informal communities and get people to see things that perhaps they wouldn't normally get a chance to see. But we're going to have to, I suppose, play it by ear. And if we get closer to the event time and it seems like that COVID isn't
Let's try without your camera, Matthew.
Restrictions aren't being loosened, and we will be, I'm sure, events on Zoom and do virtual events. So if in the coming months restrictions haven't eased, then that's something that I think we'll definitely be investigating, is how to put things online. I know a few people, Manyata screenings have done little mini film festivals just through virtual screenings. So I'll talk to them and see what the possibility of that is if the COVID situation hasn't eased by June, July time. Fingers crossed.
Cool, thank you. Robbie?
Okay. I just a bit of inquiry. We've been having issues with so many film festivals around that, like me, there was a time I won some 2 awards in the Riverwood Awards, and there are just 2 pieces of wood. Actually, it was hard accepting me back in the society where I live, in the ghetto where I live, because they are like, you see how athletes receive medals, you see them on TV, they're coming back like. So I'm just having this concern. It takes a lot of guts and a lot of sacrifice to do a film like the one I did. There are risks that can even now. I just want to inquire of, is there a way this film, a filmmaker lives there more motivated to go do other films? if it ends with just a piece of wood, I think it is not more motivating. So I think there's still time. If you didn't have that can motivate. There's so many stories. Like even I still have so many stories that I want to write about human rights, but it takes a lot. Like this story I'm having, I've been keeping the script for over 3 years on my shelves. Now after I only had, if it were not for the support I got from Kenya Film Commission, I would have not produced it. So I just beg the organizers of the winners in the festival are more motivated, so that even those who did not win or who did not submit will say, oh, we need to do more films here because of that. I think you get my point. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Robbie, for raising that. That's a very good point. And it's something we've definitely thought about, because, I mean, as you're saying, this is something risky to do as well. And, you know, it takes courage and all that. So beyond just doing a film festival, we're also thinking of how do we empower the people actually telling the stories. So we're definitely thinking of what good rewards or awards would be in the short term, but beyond that, in the long term, we are also looking at the future. What do we want to achieve? What spaces are we creating for filmmakers like you? Like, what's the vision in 2 to 3 years? Where do we want to see people, filmmakers, and what kind of stories will you be telling? So definitely we're also thinking of helping to tell the stories better, whether it's in form of like community empowerment, as Stoneface had mentioned, where we want communities to really own this as well, whether it's creating partnerships with the right organizations, the right networks, and just seeing how can you be even feel protected as you're telling this kind of stories. So I'm just glad you mentioned that, because it's definitely something we have in mind. And we also intend that this is not going to be a one-off festival. This is something we intend to do over and over again. So this is our first edition. So this will be like a learning opportunity, and then we'll iterate and improve our next edition like that. So 3-4 years down from now, we'll have something different, because it's something we're building and learning as we go, and just improving. So it's sort of like, say this is a prototype, and then we'll build as we go.
Thank
Cool.
you. Thank you for that.
Yes, and that's good feedback. So yes, keep sharing with us all that information, because it's necessary for us to build. Yes, any remarks, Robbie, from your end, I guess?
From my end, I just want to say I'm happy. I think it's time. It's time we start doing human rights movies more and more, because human rights violations are things that are there. Even right now, as we are in this meeting, someone's rights are being violated somewhere. So I just think it's a cast to address this. The timing of the festival is, to me, it's a very nice thing, because nothing. So let's do our parts as filmmakers, and for the organizers of this festival. I'm giving you a pat on the back, and I'm very happy to be part of this. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much for that remark, and the encouragement as well. So I'll take this back to Matthew in case there's anything to mention on the technical aspect. Or yes.
No, I think everything is pretty straightforward on the website. The instructions I think are quite detailed. But if there are any questions, then you can email us or contact us on social media if anyone's having any issues or challenges with actually getting their work out there and submitting it to us. So yeah, just want to say, looking forward to seeing everyone's work. Thank you to Robbie for joining us to share with us his trailer and his inspirations for the film, and I can't wait to see it.
Yes, cool. I see a question in the chat board. And the question would be, what would you tell filmmakers who don't think they have the right equipment to encourage entries? I think at this point, just keep creating and submit whatever you have. We're not really here to look at the, screen quality, HD. We're more interested in the stories as well, and just the initial idea to tell the stories. So we're open to receive whatever you have, send it as it is, and then we will look from there and keep going as we mentioned, this is not the only edition, there'll be multiple editions. So I think the more we get to know about you and your work, the better, because then we know you exist and we know you're trying and you're doing something. So just submit as simple as it is.
Yeah, I would agree that sometimes vision and story and imagination overcome technical details. I've seen great films just filmed on a camera phone. So yeah, I think it's more to do with imagination and vision. So have a go and submit it and give it a shot.
True, good points. Yeah, so I think unless anyone has anything to mention, I will take this back to the Nairobi Design Week team.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys, for one time. I learned so much. I hope this is a great opportunity for filmmakers out there, for anyone who has a story to share. And yeah, let's do this. We're looking forward to the screenings also. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we really enjoyed the trailers. Yeah, some really high quality
filmmakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm humble.
Thank you. Welcome.
Cool. I believe I've shed a tear or two during watching just that trailer. Man. Thank you guys for joining us. So
we'll just run through what to expect.
Tomorrow.
We're reaching the end of the week. So if you haven't done so, you can catch up at nairobidesignweek.com/2021. And here it is on our screens. So if you go there, this is where all the events that you've seen during this week, including today's, will go. So you can see the launch here, which is featuring over 100 creatives. We had so much fun making it. Then our journeys
in Corona times, which was about a traveling art piece, traveling through all the continents. And it was a really interesting chat.
And Naitiem was taking part in that project, in fact. Yeah. Then What Design Can Do, and the Kenya Climate Innovation Center told us about the What Design Can Do No Waste Challenge. We encourage all designers to check that out. And that's also an annual thing. So if you miss out on I think it's the 25th of April or the 20th of April deadline, be sure to check out their website. But they'll be back in Nairobi, hopefully.
We had the Bambies who took us through being queer in the creative industry. Really interesting stories, really heart-touching, heartfelt stories. So check that out. It was a 1-hour conversation, which was totally amazing.
Yeah, they told us how putting a rainbow sticker on your door can get you in trouble with the neighbors.
Get you kicked out.
Yeah. And yesterday we had free mind sessions on the collective creative consciousness. And that was some pre-recorded sessions and also a live session moderated by Nyashomba, Lindsay, and Amelda from Free Mind Sessions. So thanks again for doing that and for partnering with us this year.
And today we had Under Our Skin, which has been amazing. Thank you guys. Check out how you can apply for this film festival and be a part of it. It's all about human rights. And we've had really good sessions. Check out the trailer by Robin, which has been really mind-blowing.
And here's where you can access today's stream. And today's stream will go in this little box where we've had the trailer so far. And tomorrow we have the Eat, Design, Repeat party. So a bunch of creatives from our community coming together, live performances, music. We're launching the Mos Mos music video by Finashay. So lots coming up tomorrow.
It's gonna be fun. We have Colin Brano and Ian Tico performing, dancing.
Yeah.
Bakita will be singing. So really a lot of stuff to do. It's going to be the grand finale. Join us.
So that's it. You can find all the information at nairobidesignweek.com/2021.
Thank you. It's been amazing. Please share with your friends, share with your family. Let's do this.
Thank you, guys. And cheers to all the everyone who's tuned in tonight. Thank you to all the participants. Thank you, Sarah, Stoneface, Robbie, and Matthew for guiding us tonight.
Awesome.
Cool. Awesome.